Hello, and welcome to this tutorial on how to use the SUMIFS function in Microsoft Excel. The SUMIFS function is a powerful tool that allows you to sum the values in a range of cells that meet multiple criteria. For example, you can use the SUMIFS function to calculate the total sales of a specific product in a specific month, or the total hours worked by a specific employee in a specific project. In this tutorial, you will learn the syntax and usage of the SUMIFS function, as well as some common examples and best practices. Let's get started. To use the SUMIFS function in Excel, we first need to set up our data table. Enter the data you want to sum up in a table format with appropriate column headers. Here are the step-by-step instructions on how to convert raw data to a table format in Excel. Select the range of cells that you want to convert to a table. In this case, the range is I3 to M15. On the ribbon, go to the Insert tab. Use Strong in the Tables group. Click Table. The Create Table dialog box will open. Make sure that the My Table has headers checkbox is checked. Click OK. By converting our data to a table format, we have made it easier to work with our data and prepare it for using the SUMIFS function. In the next part of this tutorial, we will learn how to write and use the SUMIFS function in Excel. Stay tuned. The SUMIFS function takes 3 arguments: the range to sum B2 to B9, the range containing the criteria A2 to A9, and the specific criteria to meet north. This formula will sum all the sales values where the region is north, resulting in a total of $850. Second criterion is the range to sum B2 to B9, the range containing the criteria A2 to A9, and the specific criteria to meet south. This formula will sum all the sales values where the region is south, resulting in a total of $1,650. Convert a range into a table in Excel. Select the range and click on the Table button in the Insert tab. In this example, we have a table that contains data on sales, regions, and months. Our goal is to calculate the total sales for a specific combination of region and month. Here are the table data for reference. Here's example 2, which focuses on summing sales by both region and month using the SUMIFS function. To achieve this, we will use the SUMIFS function, which allows us to sum values multiple criteria. Let's break down this formula. C2 to C7 represents the range of sales values we want to sum. A2 to A7 represents the range containing the criteria for the region. North is the specific criteria we want to meet for the region. B2 to B7 represents the range containing the criteria for the month. Jan is the specific criteria we want to meet for the month. By applying this formula, Excel will sum all the sales values that meet both criteria. In this case, it will sum the sales values where the region is north and the month is Jan, resulting in a total sales amount of $500. This example demonstrates how the SUMIFS function can be used to calculate the sum of sales based on multiple criteria, allowing for more precise data analysis and calculations. In this example, we will sum the sales for a specific region, month, product, and sales value below a certain threshold. The data has 4 columns: region, month, product, and sales. The criteria are region, north, month, Jan, product A, sales less than 500. In this case, we want to sum up the sales values that are from the north region, in Jan month, for product A, and less than 500. To use the SUMIFS function in Excel, we can follow these steps. Select a cell where we want to enter the SUMIFS function. For example, in cell J5, type equal and open a dialog box that asks us to enter the arguments for the function. In the dialog box, we need to enter three arguments: the sum range, the criteria range 1, and the criteria 1. The sum range is the range of cells that contains the values that we want to sum up. In this example, the sum range is D2 to D7, which represents the range of sales values in our data table. The criteria range 1 is the range of cells that contains the values that we want to match with our first criteria. In this example, the criteria range 1 is A2 to A7, which represents the range of values in the region column. The criteria 1 is the value or expression that we want to match with the values in the criteria range 1. In this example, the criteria 1 is north, which is the region that we want to filter by. The criteria range 2 is the range of cells that contain the values that we want to match with our second criteria. In this example, the criteria range 2 is B2 to B7, which represents the range of values in the month column. The criteria 2 is the value or expression that we want to match with the values in the criteria range 2. In this example, the criteria 2 is Jan, which is the month that we want to filter by. The criteria range 3 is the range of cells that contains the values that we want to match with our third criteria. In this example, the criteria range 3 is C2 to C7, which represents the range of values in the product column. The criteria 3 is the value or expression that we want to match with the values in the criteria range 3. In this example, the criteria 3 is A, which is the product that we want to filter by. The criteria range 4 is the range of cells that contains the values that we want to match with our fourth criteria. In this example, the criteria range 4 is D2 to D7 again, which represents the range of sales values in our data table. The criteria 4 is the value or expression that we want to match with the values in the criteria range 4. In this example, the criteria 4 is less than 500. This is the sales amount that we want to filter by after we have entered all the arguments. We can close the dialog box by clicking on pressing Enter. This will complete the SUMIFS function and return the result in our selected cell. The result is $350, which is the sum of sales that match our criteria. We can see that the SUMIFS function has summed up only those sales values that meet all of our criteria. They are from the North region, in Jan month, for product A, and less than 500. We can also see that there is only one of data that meets these criteria. The sales value for this is $350. The sales values that match our criteria. In this example, we are using the SUMIFS function to sum the sales for any region starting with the letter N, regardless of the month. Now, let's dive into the code. In this formula, the first argument C2 to C7 is the range of sales values that we want to sum. The second argument A2 to A7 represents the range of regions, and N** is the criteria we are for. The asterisk is a wildcard symbol, which means it can match any number of characters. So, by using N** as the criteria, we are telling the formula to sum the sales values for any region starting with nth. Third argument B2 to B7 is the range of months, and asterisk is the criteria. Here, the asterisk again represents any number of characters, so the formula will include the sales for any month. When we run this formula, it will calculate the sum of the sales values that meet both criteria in the sum of sales for any region starting with N, regardless of the month. In our example, the formula will calculate the sum of the sales for the North region in both January and February, which is 500 plus 350 equal 850. I hope this tutorial video helps you understand how to use this powerful function. If you have any questions or feedback, please let me know in the comments section below. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.